boy Uncle Fred, and right next to me, you see that box next to me? That's my main man TK. TK, man, what's going on, man? We
What's
good?
going on, man? Yeah, I'm good. Let's get to it. I know you
All right,
charged
man.
up. A lot of good stuff to
Week
discuss.
week 15, man. What a time went. Week 15. We get ready to pick. We're gonna talk about how we did last week. Last week was kind of odd, but we're gonna pick these picks, and I want y'all to pick with us. Pick with us and see what y'all know against what we do, man. That's why it's in the caption. Test your knowledge against us. And we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about some stuff that happened last week, and we're going to pick these games, and we're going to be done, man. But sit back, relax, and enjoy the TK Uncle Fred pick segment, and we're getting ready to go right about now. All right, we back. Your main man, Uncle Fred, with my man TK. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Uh, Once again, like I said, got my main man TK. We here. We're going to pick this Week 15 game. We give you just a little heads up, man. We picked 13 games last week. I just did the tally. I did okay. Not exactly happy with it. I think I did 8-5. I think my man TK went 6-7. He took the on the chin on a couple of games, but I wasn't mad at those picks though. Some of those picks went squirrely, man. You know, that Seattle, Carolina, ain't nobody was picking that one, and Pittsburgh and Baltimore, with Hundley, come on, we wouldn't, we both picked Miami, we lost on that one, and Tom Brady threw a stinker at us, and it was a lot of but I picked San Francisco, and then it was a lot of games that went sideways, man. Cleveland, Cincinnati, we a couple of games went kind of so, but we're gonna do better. We vowed to do better this week. Um, it's a reason that ball got oblong ends on it. It don't always bounce the way it's supposed to. You guys do know that, right?
Yeah.
It don't bounce the way you think it ought to bounce. So that's why sometimes you have all the measurables, all the matrices and stuff, and that thing still come out sideways because that ball just don't bounce the way it'll bounce and it'll go all over the place. So it's to be expected. So let's go and get into our 15 picks, and we actually got a game that's about to start right now, and we got three games today, and then the other I guess 10 games tomorrow, and then one on Monday night, and then one on Sunday night, one on Monday night. Then we always pick the next Thursday night game. So let's just go ahead and get this thing crack-a-lacking. And first game we're gonna pick, look at is the Indianapolis Colts visiting the Minnesota Vikings. And so this game I think is currently on. So we're picking this game, not looking at it, so to speak. And so I'm looking at it based on merit, what I think really should happen based on what this team has versus what team B has versus what team A has or whatever. So I look at this game, and what I'm torn on is that you got a game featuring a team that's really kind of under the microscope because they look at Minnesota as a team that's got a gaudy record, but are they really as good as their record would indicate? Because even though they're 10-3, they've given up more points, and I think even more yards than they've gained, which is an oddity to me, which means they've been in a lot of close games and they got blown out a couple of times. So that makes the statistics, kind of skewed in a certain kind of way. Indianapolis is really like a team that don't know what they're doing. You got a ESPN analyst playing head coach. They just pulled out the bottom of the deck, which I like Jeff Saturday. I don't know if I like him as a head coach. Um, but the Indianapolis Colts was thought of when the season started was kind of maybe a sleeper playoff team, but things have happened. Guys have gotten hurt. Jonathan Taylor's had some injuries. They had some things going on here, and then you fire the coach, you fire the offensive coordinator, and the kind of things in turmoil. The owners acting a fool on press conferences and stuff. It's a lot going on with Indianapolis. So to me, even though the other side is Minnesota with all the talent they have, and you can argue they got the best skill position team in the NFL when you look at quarterback, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. You would be hard pressed to find a team that check off more boxes than the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, but for some reason, when the lights is on, when it's prime time, somehow number 8 don't play as well as he ought to play. Now, if it's a 12 o'clock game on Sunday, he's 25 for 30, 350 and 3 touchdowns, no picks. But if it's 7 o'clock at night and everybody watching, he 15 for 38 for 215, 1 touchdown and 4 picks. So in this business, I look at talent. I don't look at a lot of all the things. So I got to go with Minnesota because I think they're the better team. But I wouldn't be surprised they got upset. But I'm going to pick Minnesota because I think they're the better team. But somehow they got to figure out how to win the games that people are expecting them to win, because expectations is always the thing. Can you win when people are expecting you to win? When everybody's watching you, can you do this? Or you have to win in the shadow or the cover of darkness. Ain't nobody watching. Let's go. Let's do our thing. So I got Minnesota. What say you, TK?
I got Minnesota already.
Okay.
I would argue it's maybe a highly viewed game this Saturday game. Not too many college games on. A lot of viewership opportunity. People that just want to see some good football. So I'd argue that I guess maybe it is more high profile than it may seem. At this particular time spot. I got Minnesota, man. I just they're on a different trajectory than the Indianapolis Colts are. So
Right.
I do think the Colts can prove they can make a competitive game out of most games. Because at the end of the day, they still are the team that was projected to be a lot better than they actually been, which could lead to much more of a hard, gutted out type of affair than you may expect on paper. But I would go Minnesota.
Okay. So we both in consensus here. We both got Minnesota winning that. So we're gonna see how that goes. Like I said, that game's kind of going on right now. So you'll know almost immediately whether we full of caca or we on point. You'll know in a little bit. Next we go with this is gonna be an interesting game because of the pieces surrounding the game or whatever. We'll go with Baltimore at Cleveland. Interesting game because you got Cleveland and they're still trying to figure out how to play with Deshaun Watson. It's gonna take him a few games to get his feet under him. I mean, when you don't play in 700 plus games, and you got all the other stuff he's dealing with and stuff, it's gonna affect your play to some degree. Now, Cleveland's got a pretty decent team around him when you're talking about the offensive line. Skill position people are pretty good. You got Mari Cooper, David Njoku, tight end. You got Chubb and Hunt and running back, and then they got Falter. You got Jerome Ford's a rookie out of Cincinnati. He's pretty good. They got skill position people. Defense, Myles Garrett, Ward. You got players. So, and then you got a Baltimore team that really. Their whole existence is Lamar Jackson. That team is built for Lamar Jackson. Can't no other quarterback go in there and do what he do. You'd have to kind of change your whole thing to make it work with another quarterback. They just don't have the same skill set that he does. So they're a different team without um, LJ. Okay, that's why I picked the Steelers to beat them last week at Pittsburgh with Hundley playing. Uh, so would I be looking stupid if I pick Cleveland? You
Well,
know.
if you did, then go for it. I'm definitely. The
I
upside.
mean,
Go ahead.
I believe in the Ravens brand. I just believe in they just got a certain way that they do things. Certain things. I don't like how they handle certain other things, but I know I think you know what I'm talking about. But in terms of like having guys prepared to play, they'll pull a guy off a practice squad. No, he ain't gonna do that shit. He got dude ran for 120 yards and ran for 85 yards and a touchdown. Or they pulled this linebacker off of that. Dude, he making tackles. They just seem to understand and get guys prepared to play. And I think a lot of times that gets underrepresented in the NFL. You think, oh, you just roll guys out there. No, you got to have a plan, and guys have to have a program to, and a system that you play in, and everybody knows what their assignment is. If the play goes this way, I do this. I don't do this. You'd be surprised how much guys freelance and get themselves out of plays, and you're like, oh, dang, that dude gained 25 yards on that. Yeah, you supposed to cover this gap, but you saw something different and went out your way to do something. See, teams that got good organizational structure don't do stuff like that. So that's why I kind of believe in the Baltimore Ravens brand, but they just a whole another animal when another quarterback's playing. You just can't replicate what L-Jack do. So I feel like Cleveland gonna maybe after the third game, maybe kind of get some continuity with Deshaun Watson because talent is talent. That guy was a top 5 quarterback for every year he was in the NFL, so you don't lose that. Okay, but if you take away 700 days of playing, yeah, it might take you a while to get it back. But I got Cleveland winning this, and I think TK's got the same thing. So we're both in agreement on that. We both got Cleveland. They're playing at Cleveland. So we'll kind of see what happens. So am I got you correct on that? I don't want to be putting words in your mouth. I kind of felt that's just where you was leaning.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking Cleveland. The upside at quarterback. I like both defensive schemes. To your point, really like how Baltimore starting to stick with their defense and become whole and healthy. Roquan Smith addition is huge. They're going to add their first round. Maybe Hobo.
To my Njoba. Yeah.
Njoba, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm going to add him to the pass rush.
Yeah.
I just like what they're rounding out into the defense. That being said, though, Deshaun Watson's ability to make a play or two more than Tyler Huntley upside on the other side. If both defenses are pretty good, I'll just go with the team I think be able to move the ball down the field like for I would give Deshaun the upper hand in that department. For that reason, they're at home. This is kind of, even though it's a stretch for me to be in the race at all, this is their last ditch effort. You lose this game, there's zero possibility. So expect the team to be on the edge. Divisional game, they needed, especially after losing the game last week, they needed as well. I think you're going to get their best effort. So I'll go with Cleveland.
We're both going with Cleveland on that one, so good. We're both in agreement on both of these games. All right, and we're probably going to be in agreement on the game tonight. You got the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills, and Miami is kind of. I mean, you could say that they've been exposed the last couple of weeks, and losing to. I know they lost to the Chargers last week. And when it took it took one of them plays that Tyreek made, and I ain't never seen. I've been watching football a long time, TK. I ain't never seen a dude pick a ball up from in the middle of a pile and come kicking, and he run around and go for like 60 yards around on a fumble return. like that. But only Tyreek could do some stuff like that. I'm sitting there like, did I just see that? And and that's all. I mean, they needed that because they really weren't able to generate a whole lot of offense. I think a lot of teams have started to play Tua a little different. What they're trying to do, they're allowing their linebackers to drop in this underneath zones. A lot of those little short window throws he was getting are now being contested, and it's making it, and then teams are not allowing because what they were doing was kind of like just bailing on uh, Tyreek and Waddle, and it's like this and basically giving them 15 yards on every play. They 15 yards because you don't want to get smoked. You play them press man up on them, you're gonna get smoked. If you don't get a jam, he going right by you, and you ain't gonna be able to recover. But what they're starting to realize is that if we make them take that short throw and keep our linebackers underneath and that bracket underneath, that they're shutting them windows down and he's not able to make throws outside the numbers consistently, and that arm strength thing is going to become a thing unless they figure out some kind of thing. Now, what McDaniel's going to have to do is figure out some sort of, maybe, some tight end down the seam throws or something to get the coverage off of them guys so you can do some stuff. There's some ways around it, and he's a smart offensive dude. But now, for the game today, playing in probably 15 degree and a foot of snow, which I've heard, and you playing that dude, number 17, I got Buffalo. And I think Miami loses 3 in a row. I just can't see them. They lost to San Francisco the week before. That's who it was. And they didn't look good winning that game. And they kind of looked just as bad last week. And if it wasn't for that Tyreek freak fumble return, where it might have been a 23-10 game. Whatever. They had to pull that one out their backside, that play out. So I got the Bills, man. I just, I don't think it need to be a whole lot of verbiage on that. I like Miami, but I'm not against that team, not where they're playing them at. And I think and Buffalo might be want some get back too, because I know they feel like they let one get away about a month and a half ago when they was in Miami. That game, they really dominated that game and kind of didn't win it. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna make up for that today. So I got Buffalo.
I got Buffalo, man. Weather conditions are ridiculous. I've seen some early images of it already. Not the ideal conditions for Miami to come play in, especially considering like you mentioned about Tua's arm strength and delivery to push the ball. Well, trying to do that in a foot of snow.
Yeah.
Be a challenge, man. It's bad matchup, bad timing. All of the indications point to, the Buffalo Bills wins.
Yeah. The league is funny, man. Once they kind of, guys watch film, they kind of see what you can do, what you can't do, and they kind of come up with a formula. It's like, hey, he can't make this throw with, with this type of formation in this part of the field. So let's guard that or leave that open because he can't make that throw, but we'll guard these throws that he can. It's after a while they get a book on you. Like it's not no secret that Geno Smith came down to earth. They'll figure some stuff out now. People watch film. So at some point they're gonna have to make a counterpoint and like, okay, and that's the league is all about that. You do some stuff and teams adjust, then you got to counter adjust. So, and if Tua's gonna have to make some adjustments, and like I said, the whole arm strength thing is gonna come a factor. That's gonna be a thing. The teams are gonna, they're gonna challenge that outside throw, make him throw underneath, and it's like, hey, we're not letting you have that because I know you can't make that throw. So he's gonna have to. They're gonna have to figure out something. But yeah, we both got Buffalo.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Sunday at the 12 o'clock hour. First game's up is going to be I got here the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. I think that's what we got here on the thing. I'm waiting for I know what I'm gonna do. Hang on, just let me swap thing screen here. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, actually, on this screen, we got Philadelphia, Chicago. Let's do that one first. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Chicago Bears. Not a whole lot of talk here. Chicago, really, they just kind of trying to figure out what Justin Fields can do, what he can't do. They're just trying to figure out some stuff. They're working, they're this is like a big scrimmage to them, so they can kind of figure out what they're doing. They really don't have no defensive players to make no stops or nothing like that. Quinn's gone. Roquan Smith's gone, and they got some injuries now, so they're not really playing to win. They're playing to see who they're gonna keep and what works with Justin Fields, in my opinion. So I got Philadelphia winning this, and I don't think it's particularly close. I think they can kind of do that and put the hay in the barn with maybe like 5-6 minutes to go in the third quarter and rest everybody. I think they could probably do that. And I got Philly winning this game.
I got Philly as well. I love Fields. Wouldn't put it past him to try and make this more exciting than it may look on paper. That defense is pretty awesome. And, the run they're on right now, this is a game that seems pretty tailored for them to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I can't see, Chicago even make it even competitive. Now, I mean, maybe they're playing at home, but I mean, what? I mean, what that means? There's the elements. And Philadelphia has elements too. It's not no real advantage there with that to me. So I mean, yes, it don't matter, man. Shit, they won in New York last week and smoked them by 26. So it don't matter, man. Talent wins, and they got the way more talented team. So we're going with Philly now. I don't even think it's particularly close. So both got Philly there. All right. Now this is when the games start getting kind of interesting. So we got the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints, and the reason I said it's interesting is I think both of these teams, I don't know, maybe New Orleans, but I know Atlanta still has outside chances to win that division because that's the only way any of these teams win the playoff. This is a bad division.
Yeah.
And I want to say that the Falcons are, 5-7 maybe? Something like that. And
Well, they're still technically in the race in the NFC South. They actually have probably more than 3.
Right. And I think New Orleans is like 4-8.
Yeah.
Something like that.
4-9.
4-9?
Yeah, well, they should have played this game by now.
Yeah. Okay. They're playing at New Orleans. Atlanta is kind of interesting because they got a chance to win get in the playoffs with winning the division, but they kind of in rebuild mode because they've already benched Mariota and they're going with Desmond Ridder, who the guy they drafted last year out of Cincinnati. He's got a lot of promise. I saw him play in college. He's nice. That team was kind of underrated, man. That team actually had like 5-6 players that playing on Sundays, so it wasn't like he was playing with scrub players. So, so he, sometimes we get these guys and they're playing on one of those teams and they're playing with second-rate players, and you look at that team and you see an Alec Pierce that plays for the Colts that was one of his wide receivers, and then you see a Jerome Ford that's a backup running back for the Cleveland Browns who's on his team, and you go with Sauce Gardner was on that team, and you see a Kobe Bryant, the cornerback for Seattle that starts for them, was on that team, and there's some other that team had a lot of NFL type players on that team. So what I'm saying is Desmond Ridder might be more suited to play at the NFL level than you would have thought, So we'll see what happens. They're taking a look at the future while at the same time, competing in the present. So that's kind of an interesting thing that they kind of got going here, Kyle Pitts is out for the season, correct? Am I right?
Yes, he's done.
Yeah, I mean, so they're going with Drake London and some other guys. Cordell Patterson. I mean, it's an okay team. Uh, New Orleans is very disappointing to me, man. They really are, because I think, I mean, you take Andy Dalton out the picture. I mean, it's Andy Dalton, but I mean, you still got, Kamara, you got Olave, and you still got some players on that team, and defensively, you know, you still got Jordan, uh, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, you still got players on that team, so I just don't get it, man. Why is Andy Dalton still playing and Jameis Winston not? Did he fall out of favor with the coaching staff? Did he do something silly or something? Is he secretly hurt and nobody knows about it? I just don't know why you just continue running Andy Dalton out there when you already know what that thing's about. So that's interesting to me. I'm going to go with Atlanta. It's two teams that's really like, and they got the best chance to win something to get to the division. So I'm going to go with Atlanta, but, I'm not that strong either way, but I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Going the other way with it, New Orleans, rivalry game, regardless of the records, those guys are going to compete on both sides. It's in New Orleans. Falcons will be starting their rookie for the time, as you mentioned. And I just think if the Saints are going to get up for anybody, it's going to be the Falcons or the Buccaneers. So, yeah, man. I'm going to go the other way, man. I think New Orleans,
Okay.
there's a lot of pressure on Ritter. And they just find a way on the other side. Give me New Orleans.
I'm not mad at that pick, man. I'm not mad at that pick at all, because if anybody knows, we both of us, live and grew up in the South. We know, and I've been to Atlanta. That's a rivalry right there, man. Them fan bases do not like each other at all. I mean, you be in Atlanta and hey, them Saints. We finna do, and in the New Orleans it's the same way. So yeah, that's a contentious rivalry. I wouldn't be surprised if there's personal fouls in this game and stuff like that. Because them fan bases and them teams kind of like, they don't play nice. Okay, so a lot of that's involved. And like you said, they are playing at home. I just think that Atlanta kind of has something to play for. And I think maybe my New Orleans, quote unquote, maybe kind of sort of packed it in. I seen Cam Jordan said some things last week and kind of got, some stuff. He got some fines, and I think the thing's coming unraveling for them. And he kind of, because I know he knows they're better than what they played. They really should be probably over 500. That team's better than 4-9. They're better than that, But Bill Parcells said you are what your record says that it is. So they 4-9. And I guess that's the shoe they got to wear. So. But I've got Atlanta, you got New Orleans. We'll see how that thing goes, right? So we'll go on. This is their game out here. Their game right here is kind of spicy. Yeah, it's like a Popeye's 2-piece right here. Yeah, this is kind of spicy right here. You got the Detroit Lions at the New York Jets. Now, here's the backdrop on this, and I'm gonna just key in, and I'm gonna let you go on and let you take the lead on this one. Now, and the backdrop on this one. Now, old boy Mike White, who's been played pretty good, but he got broken half last week, man. That dude, I'm surprised he ain't got like some internal organ damage, man. He got broken half 2-3 times in that game. Kept coming back, like, dude, set your butt down. You got a whole lot of football to play, and but he looks at the handwriting on the wall, and he sees like, hey, this dude Zach Wilson is a number 2 pick. That's who they really want to play. So I got to shoot my shot when I'm in there. So I can't be getting, I got to get back on the field. I can't stay in this daggum medical tent. I got to get back out here and play, even though my kidneys and spleen and all is bleeding from the inside. I got to go out here and play. Well, he's not going to play today, and they're going back with Zach Wilson. So it's back to, that guy That guy kind of had some, some things said from him that I didn't particularly like. It's just some maturity. He's a young dude though, so sometimes you gotta give young guys a time to mature, to kind of figure some stuff out, man. People let us figure some stuff out. Man, if you just seen Uncle Fred at 22, 23, you wouldn't think it's the same dude just talking to you right now. I'm just going to be straight up with you. We're not the same dude. Some things I tried to do, things I thought dude, what was you thinking? So a lot of times we don't give young folk the opportunity to oh, okay, like you was never 22 or 23 and any point in your life. So I think that's always a thing. He said some stuff that really wasn't okay. You might not. It was kind of cringy. Yeah, dude, you don't say that. And I think he's learned from it, and we'll see maybe what happens. But I'm gonna let you go ahead with the rest of that. But this is gonna be a game because Detroit got a chance to slide into that playoff picture, and they've been playing well. But go ahead, TK.
Let me tell you, I already looked it up. I have a friend who's a Detroit Lions fan. He looked up his remaining schedule for the last four, all winnable games.
Okay.
Detroit is playing. So let's when you say spicy, you got two teams that are positioning themselves for playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be an intense game. I'm going Detroit. I've had chances to pick Detroit in past weeks, and I've chosen not to, despite the fact that I really like them. Here's my opportunity to correct that. I'm going to go Detroit for this one. I think both teams are well coached in terms of similar identity with Rocket City and Dan Campbell. They really make it get up.
They play hard for that dude, man. They play hard for that dude.
Teams play really hard for the coach. Very respectable game. Very interested to see how that responds. Now that he's been put back in the starting lineup. I think this is one of those rugged, physical matchups. So the run game will be key for both teams. I think Detroit has enough on the outside between Jameson, Amon-Ra, and DJ Sharp. I think they get the win for this one. I'm going Detroit. Despite the fact I love that Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, cornerback tandem, I have their hands full tomorrow. And I just think Detroit figures it out. They'll get it done, and then they'll look and they'll say you're 7-7, and you got a real chance to win the last one. I don't think they're going to get out of this week. We're going Detroit.
All right. I am not mad at that pick at all. I am not mad because I feel like in the last month or so, who the Detroit Lions lost to? They lost to the Dallas Cowboys in Dak's return, and I mean they was really in that game. They fumbled going into the end zone in a 10-6 game. Could have been up 13-10. Very easily at the 1 yard line, right? That game's different if he don't fumble that, right? So Detroit's not played bad. They've beaten Green Bay. They've beaten some good teams, and played, good against some teams that are, we feel like on the surface are better than them, like Miami. They played Miami tough. Should have beaten them. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they played well. Beat Minnesota last week, man, and so. And see the unknown here, because Jared Goff is playing some good football, understated, man. And like you said, they got some great skill position players with the running backs, Swift and Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And they Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of my favorite receivers because I think he has the coolest name in sports, but that's just me. But anyhow, I like the dude's name, man. He got a cool name. He had a cool name, man. Yeah, I just think, and like I said, they're just playing confident football. And like you mentioned, they love their head coach.
Oh yeah.
You know, he has a relationship with them guys. You know, he believes in them. He's like, look, man, you guys don't let me down. I know I trust and I believe. You have no idea how that affects players. Like, dude, that dude believes in me. He believes I can do this. He believes, as opposed to, yeah, come on out, man. We're gonna go with the other guy. Like, no, I believe you can get this fourth down. I believe in y'all. And late in games, when a player knows the coach got his back, you'd be surprised at the effort they'll reach way down and pull out, man. So that's understated in the league. So um, the question is, what kind of Zach Wilson are we gonna get? Because the Jets are pretty talented too, you know, on defense and on offense. You know, they got some nice receivers. You know, Garrett Wilson and Davis and Elijah Moore. James Robinson in the backfield, because what happened to Breece Hall. We know what happened to him. So, but they still got some nice pieces. So, dang, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go Gang Green, man. I'm gonna go Gang Green. Man, I really want to pick Detroit, man, but I think they are playing at home. They are, uh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go Gang Green. Uh, uh, but we're gonna see. But this probably gonna be one of the more exciting games based on the fact that what's at stake. Like you said, the Lions got a chance to win, most of their last 4 games, 5 games. If they're 5-7, I think that's what they might be. 5-7 or 6-7. I can't remember what they're. Maybe 6-7. They got a chance to win the rest of their games or whatever, so they could be 10-7 or 9-8 or something like that. But if you'd have polled the Detroit Lions and said at the beginning of the season you got a chance to be 9-8, I think every Detroit Lion fan, player, whatever would take that. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. If you'd have told them, hey, you got a chance to be 9-8 this year, they'd be like, really? Shoot, well, kick it off then. Let's get it going. They would take that. So I'm gonna go Gang Green, maybe just to be a contrarian, just to see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit got them because they're playing well too. So we'll see. We'll see. Then we got, this one's not going to be a whole lot to talk about here. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. And the only reason this is interesting because Pittsburgh doesn't have Pickett has another concussion. I think that might be like 3 for the season. That's not a good sign. That's not good at all. That is not good. Because you start piling up concussions. That dude ain't played but like maybe 8-9 games, 10 games in his whole career. He's already got a third as many concussions as he's played in games. So it's like almost you play every 3 games, you're getting a concussion. That's not good, man. Because at some point, man, you start racking these things up, then there's some decisions that's gonna have to be made about. You do realize you got to play long, live after you play. So these are things you don't want to talk about when a guy's in his rookie year. But when you see a guy start having 2, 3, and 4 concussions in a season or concussion symptoms or whatever, those are things that are kind of interesting or alarming to me. Either something you're not doing well or you're susceptible to that kind of thing or something. So it's just And I know the league does a lot of things to minimize a lot of that stuff, but it's a violent game and things happen. So I get that too. So, and I think some of the players was clamoring for Mason Rudolph in lieu of Mitch Trubisky. So there's some things going on there. I heard some stuff chattering in the days between games. Carolina, they basically, I know they won last week against Seattle. Their defense is nasty. Carolina's defense is nasty. Okay. if you kind of don't know what you're doing at quarterback and you playing the Carolina's defense or that defensive line, you got big Derek Brown and you know, and then your secondary consists of Horn, Henderson, Jeremy Chin. Uh, I would pick Pittsburgh, but I don't know, man. This is one of them games. I don't know. Carolina is playing at home. I guess I got the Panthers, man. I usually don't pick against Pittsburgh because I just love them as an organization, how they structure their thing. But you kind of don't know what you're doing at quarterback, so I don't know, man. So I'm gonna go Carolina, but I don't know.
I
Two
got
teams that
Pittsburgh, man.
aren't going nowhere, so I don't know. So you going Steelers? Okay, I ain't mad at that pick. I ain't mad at that pick at all. I almost went Steelers. Like I said, I almost go Steelers every time they play, unless they playing one of my teams. But they you got questions at quarterback, and you got some things going on. I don't know, man. I don't know. And they are starting Sam Darnold, so I don't know, man. I think it's a toss up, bad versus bad. So I don't know. So anyway, you got Pittsburgh, I got Carolina. Okay. Here's a good game too. It's gonna be kind of spicy, spicier than folks think. You got the Dallas Football Cowboys at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They playing in Duval. 12 o'clock.
I got Dallas. Let you take it from there.
Do you really? You really got Dallas? Do you really?
Definitely.
You not the least bit apprehensive, can we say that, from that effort that they put forth, that stinker they put forth against the Houston Texans?
No, Dallas.
Okay. I got Dallas too. Obviously, you see where I'm rolling my head right here. I'm obviously going with them. I've already done 2 videos. Y'all check that. Y'all subscribe to check out my 2 videos. I did a video Sunday, and I did a like a having slept on it video, because sometimes you play you all of your feelings on the game day, and then you kind of have to sleep on it, and you kind of like, what, man, let's so I did a revisit on Monday. And after you really kind of consider the things that took place in the game and really whatnot. So but yeah, the Cowboys didn't they played with their food last week. That's the way I characterize it. They went down, scored on the first drive, and like, yeah, fine. Got a stop on defense, got the ball back. And then Cavante Turpin decides he wants to play harder football and gave them life at the 24-yard line, and they go down and score. Now Houston like, wait, we in this game. And you'd be surprised when you allow a team to hang around and give them confidence, get them thinking, we can play with this team. Because a lot of the things that happen with professional athletes, I've learned, and people, I've been around a lot of professional athletes, but I've read a lot of things and stuff and seen a lot of things. When a player has confidence, it's amazing what they're able to do when they feel that confidence. Like, oh man, we in this game. As opposed to, had the Cowboys covered that fumble and go down and score this 14-0, they may have folded their tents. Because you'd be surprised when a team goes up 2 scores, 3 scores, and it's a team that, we really ain't supposed to play with them anyway. You'd be surprised. It's like, you know what, man? It's the same song, different verse. And they fold their tent. But, there's light at the end of that tunnel. If we can just get to the end of there's light down there. And that fumble led to that. And then Dak threw a couple of eye-opening interceptions that kept them in the game and got them more emboldened. And then, of course, the Texans had, and I tell people all the time, coaching matters. They came up with something that they played Sunday that the Houston Texans hadn't done all season. They played a 2-quarterback system. They hadn't done it all season. And it took the Cowboys a kind of half or 3/4 of the game to figure out what the heck is they doing. had played Davis Mills for a couple of plays, bring in Jeff Driscoll and run some zone read. And they were like, whoa, they did that all game, all season. And, and it kind of, and so there's something to be said for the stealthiness of game planning and strategy, and that a lot of times the Cowboys don't have not mastered. Because why else would you put out that there's a chance that Tyron Smith is going to play right tackle? If I'm running the Cowboys, you wouldn't know that until they trot out there Sunday afternoon. You would not know that. But we feel like we might want to try him. Why you got to tell folks that? That's therein lies some of the issue. But I'm digressing here. I think the Cowboys got a wake-up call Sunday, because that would have been a very embarrassing loss. Dude, you got beat at home by the worst team in the NFL that really is looking for, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. They looking for that pick. What's my man's name? The other guy. What's the edge rusher name? Plays for Bama. Will Anderson Jr. They looking for that. They ain't looking to win no games. So you had to take a 98-yard, 13-play drive with 3 minutes left to win that game. And way I characterized that, TK, in my video, you had to break out the good china to eat hot dogs.
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
You brought out the good china for that? You could have ate that with a paper towel, or a Dixie plate. You brought out the good china and the good silverware for that. Come on, man. So yeah. I feel like they got that comeuppance down there, and I think they're gonna have every I dotted, every T crossed. Tyron Smith is back. I feel like T.Y. Hilton is gonna play. I think T.Y. Hilton gets a touchdown tomorrow. I think that's going to be one of the understated pickups that they got. Because I think he's underrated in as a player and whatnot, and he's not like he was some random wide receiver. He was a star in this league. He had 5,000 or 6,000 yard seasons. He got a 95 catch, 1,500 yard season. So I think he's going to play well. I think he gets a touchdown in this game. Will make some significant contributions. So I got the Cowboys winning. I think this, and I picked in my show 27-20. I think it's a good game because Trevor Lawrence is playing some good football right now. That's not sleep. There's a reason that dude was picked number 1 in the entire draft. He's generational in his arm strength and his ability to move. He's 6'6" and about 225, 230 and can move. So it's not like you can, just blow at him. He can play. So I got the Cowboys winning, but it's I think they have to play. They're going to have to play a good game to beat them, and I think they do that, and they win this game. And if they win this, they're in the playoffs. But back-to-back seasons, which they haven't done since 06 and 07. So
yes. Inevitable. So that's an interesting pickup as far as T.Y. Hilton is concerned. Apparently, it's not going to stop them from signing Odell Beckham too.
They try to get everybody, man. We try to get everybody. We got to get everybody.
Load up for the playoff, bro. I like that.
Ain't nothing wrong. I'm not mad at that because if you look at the Cowboys, I was watching this other show, this other content creator was talking about. He said, if you look at the Cowboys, one of the things that they struggle with, they really don't have no separators at the wide receiver group. Now, they got some guys that can run decent routes and run after the catch and do some stuff like that, but they don't have nobody that can get like real separation. So what you get is you get a lot of passes that Dak throws that are contested throws. Guys like, guy right on top of the guy. It's a small window that you got to fit that ball into because the guy's not being beat by, but maybe a step here, a step there. They got nobody that can get behind a guy. And so we got to look at a guy like T.Y. Hilton. Now he's 33, but that dude did run a 4.3 when he came out, And, maybe the threat that maybe he can get behind somebody and make some stuff open up underneath and they can get some stuff. But yeah, that's one of the things. CD Lamb's a good, he's having a great season, but he's not a guy that gets behind guys. He's a catch it and let me beat the guy and, run after the catch and catch it across the middle and that kind of dude. And Michael Gallup makes like acrobatic catches, but he's coming off an ACL. He's really not 100%. He's probably like 65, 70%. And then you got a bunch of, Noah Brown's a big plodding guy, 6'3", 6'4", about 235. He's a possession dude, almost like a junior tight end, And you got, James Washington. We don't know. He played this season. We don't know. So you got a bunch of guys that, So there's a reason why they're pursuing these guys. They know that wide receiver room, they're good guys, but they don't really, so that's what's up. They're trying to get everybody because they know that, if we get some separation, if we get dynamic at the wide receiver position, we got a shot with the other parts of the team that we got. So that's my opinion. Maybe I'm just saying it because I'm a homer. Maybe that's me. We both got.
I got my reservation. We'll see. I guess we'll talk about that if they actually sign it. Yeah, man, I got Dallas though.
We both got Dallas. Go Cowboys. That's don't make me look bad tomorrow. Don't make me look bad. All right, then here's one that yeah.
I have no
you have to play. Yeah, you got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. Although Houston kind of was game against the Cowboys, I think there was more the Cowboys asleep at the wheel more so than I will admit the Texans, they did some things creatively, offensively that kept the Cowboys off balance and stuff like that. But, that's Pat. And what I think the Houston Texans will do, because you got Lovie Smith coaching them, they're going to play a lot of two deep zone. So that means everything going to have to be in front of them. They're going to make Patrick Mahomes take 8, 10, 12, 15-yard completions rather than stuff over the top. So, but, I think he's going to be able to do that. I'm just saying that's what their strategy is going to be. And that's, may make, he may get compulsed and try to get one over the top to a Juju or, what's the other dude's name? The dude they got from Green Bay. Valdez Scantling. He may try one over the top to that dude or whatever, but I got Kansas City. I think they'll figure it out and they win by about 3-4 touchdowns late in the game. But I think it may be close for maybe like half a quarter. But I got Kansas City, and I think you got Kansas City too. So we move on. Much to say on that one. Okay. All right. At the 3 o'clock hour. That game's actually surprisingly in Houston. It's surprisingly at 12 o'clock. So that's interesting to me. Okay, the 3 o'clock games. We got Arizona and Denver. We got to pick that one.
I don't even know the pick.
Yeah, that's stinky versus smelly. Ain't that the same thing? Ain't them synonyms for the same thing?
Give me the Broncos. I don't think Russell is starting correct. He's out. So, give me the Broncos, man. Yeah. I don't really have anything to say about that one.
Okay. Yeah, the Broncos. Okay. I'm actually going to go the other way on this one. Because Russ is not playing, right?
Yeah, he's out.
Right. So you go on with what Brett Rippon versus Colt McCoy is actually a competent backup quarterback. They got pieces. You got Hopkins. You got some guys. You got some running backs. I think Arizona's not exactly. They're just not going to be. They're just not going to the playoffs. You just can't replace Kyler Murray. That's all the stuff that went on this year. You hate to see a guy go down like that. I was like, damn, really? That was a head dropper right there when I saw that, and I was like, wow. third play of the game too, and it's like, it's one of the things when you play the game you see, and as a fan you hate seeing that because you like to see the best players in the game play their game and do what they do and just spread their special sauce over the game. And he has a sauce that he has, and I like seeing that. And then just for him just to go down like that, that was not good to see as a fan of the game. You're going Denver. I'm gonna go Arizona. I think it's really bad on bad. I just think that the Cardinals bad is less bad than the Broncos bad. So, and I could be wrong, but hey, that's why they play the games. That Chris Berman says that's why they play them, right? All right. So now here we go. Here we got the New England Patriots going to Las Vegas to play the Las Vegas Raiders. Interesting game here in that you got Belichick going against the former offensive coordinator, and I think the GM also left. Was like a staff member or a front office personnel person that went to. So it's sort of like one of them games. I don't know. Las Vegas lost the game they had no business losing last Thursday night. That game that really should have been. That game really you could sell that game at the fish store because that's how it smelled. That game smelled as though but Raiders are kind of underwhelming. I mean, you got Derek Carr and Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, who's going to play. He's got a little finger injury. He should play. Hunter Renfrow. I mean, you got players. I mean, you got New England. You got defensive coordinators and special teams dude calling plays. You got Mac Jones getting cross-eyed with the coaches there because he knows they call him bull crap. He knows, like, you're not giving me a chance to really play here. He knows that. I don't know, man. I got the Raiders, man, but I usually don't pick against the Patriots because I know, unless they're playing like an elite team or something like that. But I don't know. I got the I just believe that team's just too talented to lose any more games. I just think they're too good, with the players and whatever that they have. I got the Raiders, man. I got the Raiders. Yeah, of course. Okay. You got the Pats. Any particular reason, or you just like I just like them as an organization, and the Raiders just kind of stink? Is that what we're going with?
The way the Raiders know how to do games, bad recipe up against Bill Belichick. I think they'll find a way to bracket Josh Jacobs, no Hunter Renfrow, no Cam Wallace. Put a lot of pressure on Devontae. Derek Carr doesn't have a problem with Devontae the ball. I don't know that they have a winning formula, to be honest, man. I think their gas might have run out. Their weird loss last week. I'm gonna go the safe route. The safe route is
okay. You going with Belichick? Let me tell you who's having a great season for the Patriots, man. That daggum Matthew Judon. That Matthew Judon is having a season, man. You can't block that dude, man. That dude having a season. He kind of like low key playing for defensive player of the year. Him, Bosa, and my man Micah. Those are my picks. Defensive player of the year. Matthew Judon is a freaking man. I was watching him when they was playing the Monday night, and he was all over the place. I mean, it was just manhandling dudes, man. I was like, Eesh. So yeah, that damn Matthew Judon. He if you don't block him, your offense is getting wrecked. Just believe that. So yeah. So I got the Raiders though, but I like the theology behind your pick. I just think that the Raiders just have more talent than they've displayed, and at some point, I just think and for another reason, Belichick's disciples seem to always beat him for some reason. They just do. I don't know what that's about, but just go through the records. His disciples have always beaten him. Shit, Patricia beat him both times he played him. I'm like, huh? Detroit? That when Tom Brady was still there. He shouldn't be beating him. So, but yeah. So, and then we got, Tennessee Titans at the Los Angeles Chargers.
I got the
TK,
Chargers.
take it away, my man.
I don't have a lot to say.
Oh, I know you got a lot to say. You're just choosing not to say anything. You got something to say. Don't be shy now. Go on and say it.
I don't have a lot of nice things to say. Chargers gonna win this game. They're the better team, more well-rounded team, and Tennessee hasn't shown anything that suggests they're going to be able to put up to win this game. So, got the Chargers.
You got the Chargers. All right, now see what I was trying to. I kind of feel like I'm a reporter here. Because what I was trying to do, I was trying to milk something out of him because I know what he feels. I know what he wants to say. What he will say, but he's not going to say because he's too decent. He's too upstanding a young man. He ain't going to say it, but I'm going to say it for him. What he wants to say but won't say is that the Tennessee Titans are getting what they deserve because they've made some boneheaded moves in the front office and karma is a B and you getting what you deserve. That's what I want to say. But he ain't gonna say that because he's just a good, wholesome young man. It won't say nothing disparaging about his hometown team. He just won't say that. But off camera, he finna tell me that. But he ain't gonna say it on camera. So I'm gonna say it for him. I'm saying it for him. He like, yeah, y'all spit the bit. Y'all getting exactly what y'all had coming to y'all. Y'all made some bad moves on some offensive line players, wide receivers, draft picks, different things. You thought you were smarter than you were. And this thing that came back to bite you, and you getting what you deserve. But he won't say it. I was trying to get him to say that, but he wouldn't say it. He wouldn't say it. So that's what it. How far am I off?
I got the Chargers, man.
Wow. Okay. All right, man. All right. He's not gonna divulge that. He know. I know. He feel that way. Yeah, y'all. That's what y'all get. I got the Chargers too. I'm off the Tennessee bandwagon. I kind of low key put them because it's the closest team in proximity to me. I kind of like their makeup. I like Mike Vrabel. I like the discipline and the structure that he builds and But sometimes you can't out strategize ignorance in the front office. And so and there's a reason why that dude got fired. So we're not gonna get into that. Like I said, I'm gonna speak for him because I don't care. I ain't worried about no blowback. I'm gonna say it. He don't like what their front office did. He mad at them, and yeah, that's what that pick is. That's why he picked like how he picked. But the Chargers are a good team too, so it's not like he picked like the Houston Texans against them. It's not like he picked that. So yeah. But yeah, I got the Chargers too because they played a great game last week against the Miami Dolphins with a lot of defensive players out. Man, you're able to do that with many people. I think probably the best safety in the game, Derwin James. Derwin James is a freaking dude, man. That's a dude. Okay, that dude got almost as many interceptions. He got sacks. All right, he's a dude, man, and they was able to do that without him, and as a couple other players, they was able to do it without, and wide receivers coming and going, stuff like that, and they was able to win that game and stuff. So that was impressive to me. I had kind of been sort of sour on the Chargers But they kind of, I was like, okay, now this is what I want now. And they need to back that up with a win uh, Sunday now. Don't do that and then wet the bed and be like, So I got the Chargers, and Tennessee has been a disappointment the last 3 weeks. They've just lost 3 in a row now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Philadelphia, Jacksonville. Who they lose to before Jacksonville? Before Philadelphia?
Mm, it may have been Cincinnati.
You was Cincinnati. Because they beat Houston, they lost to Cincinnati, Philadelphia lost to Jacksonville. And probably adding a fourth L in a row. So, all right, so we both got the Chargers here and kind of off the Tennessee bandwagon, okay? And then we got Tampa Bay, Cincinnati at Tampa Bay. And this is an interesting game because Tampa Bay put up a stinker last week against the San Francisco 49ers, man. They let Brock Purdy light them up, and had, he was like chilling in the fourth quarter. That's how far they was ahead in that, So interesting game. Had Tom Brady signing jerseys, balls, a dude that intercepted him, which I was like, you got some big cojones to go ask a dude you just picked off to sign the ball you just intercepted him with. I don't know. I'd have done that. He bigger, he better than me. I don't know if I could have done that. Kid going somewhere, man. I ain't doing this. Take your butt on somewhere. Cincinnati's down some receivers. I think Higgins is not playing. Maybe even Boyd may be limited, or maybe I got that backwards. So it's some injury concerns there. I don't know. I just don't know that Tampa Bay is as bad as they looked last week. And I think that, I don't know. They're playing at Tampa. I don't know. You know what, man? Cincinnati won like 5 straight. Nah, I got the Bengals, man. I know you don't pick against Brady, so you got Tampa Bay.
There it is.
You don't pick against TB12. Okay.
Most weeks.
Most
But I
weeks.
think
Okay.
this one was kind of lining up for Tampa. They really needed. Since to your point, has a couple of injuries, and they cut it out a couple of big injuries, so it may be due for the heartbreaker or so.
Yeah, and they got some injuries on defense too. I want to say it's Hubbard or it's Hendricks. It's one of the two.
Well, if they don't have
One of them dudes got a hand arm thing or whatever. That's so that you gotta look at too. So that they're understated. One of the two better D line pass rushers. They get good pressure. They understated. People kind of sleep on the Bengals defense. They can get after the quarterback and do some things. Pretty strong in the back end with Jesse Bates and what's that other kid's name? Bates and can't think of that other guy's name, but they got a nice safety tandem back there, and they're okay. Von Bell, that's what I'm talking about. That's him. So man, they're a nice tandem. They're a nice tandem. Um, but so you got Tampa, I got Cincy. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, the Sunday night game. The only thing is they both vying for playoff wins, playoff positioning. One team, if they lose this game, they're probably out of the playoff picture. You got the Giants. I think they're like 7-6 versus the 7-5-1. I'm sorry, there's a tie in there.
There's
a tie in there.
Actually, a big game.
And then you got Washington. I think they are maybe have the same record, 7-6-1. Maybe they are 8-5-1 or something like that, or something like that. They got one more win than them, I think, and one less loss. So if they're 7-5-1, they're 8-5-1, maybe 8-4-1, something like that. Don't get me the line.
Yeah.
They're playing at FedEx Field. I've kind of come off of the Giants bandwagon because I just think that they, at some point, coaching is one thing, but at some point you got to have the horses, and I think at some point, man, the talent pool catches up with you. Pretty much on offense, all they really got is Saquon Barkley. They got some decent receivers, but are you really like rolling your coverage to Darius Slay and James? Are you really,
Who did they just sign? They just signed.
did they? Maybe they did. I can't remember.
No. They did. That's Kobe.
That's the Bills. They signed Cole Beasley. Yeah, So Giants lose. They're out of playoff contention, I think. I think the Washington football team is a very kind of underrated team. I got Washington winning. For no other reason. I just think they're just a better team. They got more better skill position players. Taylor Heineke is better than Daniel Jones. Their offensive line is better than the Giants' offensive line. Their skill position players. You got Terry McLaurin and Dotson and Sanders, Logan Thomas. You got better skill position players. So I'm going with Washington. And defensively, defensive line, Chase Young's back. Go with Payne and Jonathan Allen. I got Washington, man.
Yeah, I got Washington. But I think it's going to be a good game.
It might be a good game.
They're pretty evenly matched. So, we Washington.
Okay.
Win it in regular.
I think it's going to be a good game, but not in the way that a lot of folks want it to be a good game. It's going to be a good game because it's going to be like 20 to 17 or 17-13. It's going to be a good game like that. I think it's going to be a lot of offensive futility. It's going to be a lot of drop passes. It's going to be a lot of 3-yard, 2-yard runs. It's going to be a lot of punts. It's going to be a lot of good defensive plays. It's going to be that kind of game, and I think it's going to be close and compelling. So I think Washington wins close. So. Monday night, you got the LA Rams at the Green Bay Packers. I think the Cinderella shoe comes off the Rams. I got Green Bay.
Yeah, the Rams season is good. I got A-Rod all day, despite the fact their season probably
is A-Rod playing?
Is he?
Well, I'm saying that because I'm even picking them if Love is playing. That's what I'm saying. I'm picking them even as Love is playing.
No, but I'm saying, is he not?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I know that was out there that if they don't have no longer a chance to play the playoff, wouldn't it be like malpractice to not play Love to at least see what you got? Because if you got to trade him, you at least got to see what he got left. Or if you're going to get rid of A-Rod, if A-Rod leaves, you got to know if you got a quarterback, you might have to draft one. So it's organizationally, you'd have to see if you're not playing for anything, you play Jordan Love, and I know A-Rod wants to play, but you might just do that because it's, you do it. But even if he was playing, I'm picking Green Bay because I just like him and Christian Watson and the other guy. I just like them better than what the Rams are putting out there. I just thought that was fugazi what we saw Thursday night. I'm sorry.
Well, I got Green Bay, but I hadn't really heard anything. I could be wrong. I hadn't heard anything about anybody not playing.
All right.
So, yeah, I got Green Bay.
Well, if Aaron Rodgers playing, they winning by a couple of touchdowns. So if A-Rod playing, they win by a couple of touchdowns. If Jordan Love played there, they went on a field goal. Because, I think he makes a mistake or two. But, that's what I'm saying. I got Green Bay either way, is what I'm trying to say. All right, then we got the Thursday night game of the following week. We'll go ahead and call that one. It's going to be an interesting game. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets, New York Football Jets. And I think the New York Jets will be having some momentum coming off that win this Sunday against the Detroit Lions and stacking it up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're playing at New York at MetLife Stadium. And I got the Jets winning that one. So we'll see.
I got the Jets.
All right. All right. Well, we got another one in the books, TK. Got another one in the books, man.
Yes,
And
indeed.
we're gonna see we'll see how our picks go. And like I said, if you watching this video, you casually watch through, you thumbing through your NFL links and see our picks. Watch the video and see our picks and our analysis, and then chime in with some comments and see. Maybe you think we smoking something. We don't know what the heck we talking about. I want to hear that. And we do that. We do that. We like to think we know what we're talking about, and we do. But y'all might know a little something too. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. TK, as I always say, it's like they do on the comedy show when they asked Russell Simmons, "What you gonna say?" He said the same thing. God bless. Drive home safe. Good night. TK, any parting words?
Happy football Sunday. Absolutely.
Yeah, they always ask Russell Simmons like he gonna say something different. They say, "Thank y'all for coming. God bless. Good night." Same thing. Like, oh, dude, you want to like change the script? Nah, say the same thing. So I always give him the platform. What you want to say to the folks, TK? Happy football Sunday. See ya. See ya.
That's it.
So that's what he said. So I'm saying the same thing from the desk of Uncle Fred. Man, thanks for watching our video. And please watch, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next week. I'm guessing we might have a surprise for y'all next week. We might be at the same location doing like a live remote. We might do that next week. So just keep that in your hat. Let's keep that in your hat. So, we might just do something, do a little something, little different. So, but God bless. Catch y'all on next week.
All right. Peace.